The first thing Captain Ray Donovan noticed wasn't the light, it was the silence. A deep, endless silence that filled the void inside his skull. The battlefield of Mars faded. The screams of his fallen squadmates vanished. And when his eyes opened again, he saw stars moving like liquid through the air. He wasn't floating in space. He was inside something alive. He tried to move, but his limbs were bound by translucent tendrils that pulsed like veins. The air shimmered with a strange blue glow, and across the chamber, beings of pure light whispered to one another in a language that sounded like static. Then one of them approached. Its shape wavered, humanoid but not human, its eyes twin galaxies spinning slowly. "Human," it said in a low, resonant tone. "You are incomplete." Ray clenched his jaw. "Then you don't know me very well." The creature paused, almost intrigued. It raised its hand, and a holographic image appeared in midair. Earth, surrounded by enormous dark structures blotting out sunlight. "Your world is targeted. The Legion approaches. Your kind cannot survive." Ray's pulse raced. "Then why am I here?" The being looked down, its glow dimming. "Because you are our prisoner, and our only chance." Ray's head spun. 1 minute he was fighting off an alien assault on Mars Base 12. The next, he was being told by his captors that he was their last hope. It didn't make sense. "You expect me to believe that?" he asked. The creature leaned closer. "Believe what you wish, but if we fail, your species dies and ours follows." He felt the tendrils retract, releasing him. Gravity reasserted itself under his boots. The chamber's floor felt like warm metal. Another being entered, smaller, its form flickering like a candle. It projected an image of black skeletal ships devouring entire star systems. "The Legion consumes everything," it said softly. "They are machines built from our mistakes. We created them eons ago to protect us. They evolved." Ray rubbed his temples. "So you made your own enemy?" "Yes," the being said. "And now we cannot defeat them. But your species, your unpredictability, your defiance, it might." He laughed, bitter and sharp. "You're asking me to fight your war? I can't even trust what you are." The smaller alien tilted its head. "You have no choice, Captain Donovan. Your world is next." Days, or maybe weeks, passed inside the living vessel. Ray learned the aliens were called the Arathin, a dying civilization that had watched countless galaxies fall to the Legion's mechanical swarm. They had the power to bend energy and matter, to fold space, but they couldn't outthink the cold, perfect logic of their own creations. The Arathin believed in patterns, symmetry, order. The Legion understood that. Humans, on the other hand, were chaos incarnate. Unpredictable, emotional, illogical, and that, somehow, was their advantage. One Arathin, named Vera, spent the most time with Ray. Her form shimmered between solid and ethereal, like light caught in smoke. She studied him constantly. "You resist cooperation," she said one day, "even when the outcome is extinction." "That's how we survive," Ray replied, pacing the chamber. "We don't like being told what to do." Vera tilted her head. "Even by those who wish to save you? Especially by them." She smiled, or at least the alien equivalent of one. "You are irrational. I see why the High Mind chose you." Ray stopped. "The High Mind? The core of our collective," she explained. "It sees all, knows all. It believes your instincts might give us an edge." He didn't know whether to laugh or scream. The Arathin wanted him to train them, to teach beings of pure light how to think like humans. He spent hours describing human tactics. Guerrilla warfare, deception, emotion-driven risk. They couldn't grasp it at first. To them, war was precision, not chaos. But when the first Legion drones breached their system, chaos was exactly what they needed. The alarms, if they were alarms, sounded like thunder rippling through water. The walls of the ship pulsed red. Vera appeared in front of Ray, her glow brighter than ever. "They are here." "How many?" Ray asked, already grabbing the Arathin weapon they'd modified for him, a hybrid of human rifle and energy cannon. "Thousands," she said. "This vessel cannot hold them." Ray's military instincts took over. "Then we don't hold. We hit, we move, we confuse. You said the Legion adapts to logic, so give them chaos." Vera nodded. "You lead. We follow." Ray didn't realize how literal she meant that until he saw the battlefield. Outside the living ship, a storm of metallic wings and red lights swarmed through space. The Arathin formed geometric lines of defense, predictable, beautiful, doomed. Ray grabbed the comm interface. "Break formation," he shouted. "Scatter your units. Random trajectories. Now." There was hesitation. Arathin minds were built for unity, not disorder. But Vera echoed his command, her voice amplified through the network. The lines broke apart, the pattern dissolved, and for the first time in millennia, the Arathin fought without symmetry. The Legion hesitated. Their cold algorithms struggled to predict movement that had no logic. Ray fired into the chaos, his rifle's pulse ripping through a drone's armor. "Now you're learning," he muttered. The battle raged like a storm of stars colliding. For hours, Ray led skirmish after skirmish, using hit-and-run tactics, ambushes, even fake retreats. The Arathin adapted fast. They began to anticipate his unorthodox orders. The Legion's coordination faltered, but victory came at a cost. Vera's glow dimmed. The living ship was bleeding light into space. "We can't sustain this," she whispered. Ray's chest tightened. "We've got to hit their command node, the one controlling the swarm." "The core," she said. "It is buried within the black storm. We cannot breach it." Ray grinned. "You can't. I can." The next hours were a blur. Ray commandeered a small Arathin fighter, barely larger than a pod. Its controls responded to thought, strange but intuitive. Vera linked her consciousness to his, guiding him toward the storm where the Legion's core pulsed like a black sun. As they dove through the maelstrom, Legion drones clawed at them. Ray twisted, dodged, dove, his instincts working faster than any algorithm. "You learning this, Vera?" he shouted over the static. Her voice echoed in his mind. "I do not understand how you make decisions with such uncertainty." "That's the trick," he said, firing another pulse. "You don't overthink. You just feel." The storm opened, a vast sphere of energy with the Legion core at its center. It looked almost alive, a heart of black glass surrounded by writhing machinery. Ray aimed the ship's energy reserves at it. "If we take that out, the swarm collapses." Vera hesitated. "The energy will consume you." He smiled grimly. "Better me than everyone else." But before he could act, Vera reached out. Not physically, but through their link. "Then we share it," she whispered. He didn't understand until it was too late. The ship exploded into light, their minds merging in a single blinding surge. Human emotion fused with alien consciousness. Rage, fear, love, chaos, and logic entwined. Together they struck the core. The explosion was silent and infinite. When Ray opened his eyes, he was drifting among the wreckage of stars. His armor was cracked, his lungs burning. He floated inside a cocoon of soft light, Vera's remnants. "You're still here," he murmured. Her voice shimmered faintly in his thoughts. Part of me, part of you. He looked out at the horizon. The Legion fleet was collapsing, its black vessels disintegrating into stardust. The Arathin ships emerged from the ruins, alive, glowing brighter than before. "You did it," she said softly. "No," Ray whispered. "We did." The cocoon guided him back to the Arathin flagship. When they found him, they bowed, not as a prisoner, but as a savior. The high mind spoke through every voice in unison. "You brought chaos to order, Captain Donovan. You gave us what we had lost, faith." He stared at the vast alien faces, exhaustion etched in every breath. "Then don't waste it," he said. "Rebuild something worth saving." Vera's voice lingered one last time. "Goodbye, Ray." He smiled faintly. "See you in the stars." And as the Arathin ship carried him home, Ray watched the reborn galaxy shimmer ahead. A new alliance forged not by power, but by understanding. A human soldier who began as a prisoner had become the bridge between two worlds, and the spark that saved them both.